Hello, world of the internet. Simon Miller here. Hope you're doing well. Hope you've had lovely New Year's, lovely lives, lovely weeks, lovely months, lovely years. Hit that subscribe button if you're brand new, because YouTube is all about subscriptions and all of that kind of stuff. And I'd like to get to 100,000 subs. Not going to lie, just going to be completely honest with you. Now, did I ever think I'd be doing a video about the royal family? No, I did not. Not in a million years. But late last year, a few of my patrons, and again, cheap plug, patreon.com/SimonMiller316. There's a link below. I don't necessarily like talking about that in videos like this, but hell, I've done it now. You can call me an asshole. But a bunch of patrons said, Simon, we really did miss the mental health vlogs that you used to do. And yes, you can go back through my channel. Now we are in January. I believe I started doing them in January 2018. So that is 24 months worth of it. But the reason I stopped, just a small tangent, is because I was like, well, I don't want to feel like I'm doing it for the sake of it, because I don't ever want it to feel like it's just being done for views. I like to talk on these things because I'm passionate about it, and if it does get loads of views, awesome, because the reason that would be so excellent is that I think the conversation about mental health should be far more prevalent and far more vast than it is. It's far better these days than it used to be, but you still get certain people being like, mental health, what a joke. Absolutely not a joke. Anyway, they asked me to do it, so I thought what I'll do is I'll try and tie it into news stories where I kind of see stuff that makes sense. And it happened within the last 24 hours over here, and it was a worldwide news story too. Harry and Meghan, the Dukes of Duchess of Sussex, I believe they are. I'll talk about my poor knowledge when it comes to the royal family in a minute. Decided they were basically going to sever ties with the monarchy and go off and do their own thing. It sounds like they're going to live a little bit in Canada, a little bit over here in England. They're going to somehow become self-independent when it comes to finances, and they're going to raise Archie, I believe their son's name is, up away from all the hoopla that goes around with the royal family. Now, to talk about my own personal opinion on that for now, as you can see, I just don't really, I'm not gonna say I don't care, because that's a bit harsh, but I understand the pros and I understand the cons, but ultimately in my day-to-day life, I don't feel like they affect me at all, so I just let them get on with it, because one day we're all gonna be dead, and I don't want to overly be stressed out about something that I have no control over, and again, am not really that passionate about. So if you like the monarchy, fine. If you don't like the monarchy, fine. I have had very interesting conversations, especially back in the day with my granddad. He was very anti-monarchy, and my own father is quite pro-monarchy, not for the reasons you'd expect, but it's not for me to tell you their opinions. But I did used to get into these quite interesting chats with them, and again, I took a little bit from each. Do I have a problem with this idea that some people are just born better than others? Yes. At the same time, do I understand how much tourism and money they bring into the country? Yes. And are there other things around that? Yes. I don't want to get all into it, because that's not what this video is about. There are skeletons in the closet, right? That's all we need to talk about. But the big thing is that you have two people that were born into privilege, I wouldn't say they were given everything on a platter, because there are still, this is the dumbest thing ever, but I do think it sums it up. Have you seen Prince William's hairline? That Mother Hubbard ain't allowed to shave it, because that ain't what royal people do. Are you kidding me? That dude should be allowed to shave his head. So you see, there's always pros and cons, pluses and minuses, no matter how you spin it. I don't want to focus on this too much. But my big thing, what I really took away from it, is the press coverage in this country about Meghan Markle especially, and other attributes of the royal family, can sometimes be absolutely eyebrow-raising. Again, that's a whole different path I don't want to go down today, because that's not what I'm going to talk about. I know some people agree with that and some people won't. I'm completely aware of the situation. But the biggest thing to me is that I don't think two people do this unless they have come into some form of stress, some form of struggle. Don't like using the words depression, because, if you are depressed, you shouldn't that word shouldn't be thrown around flippantly, is my point. But there will certainly have been some anxiety, some apprehension, to the point they're like, you know what, we got to focus on us first. We can't worry about what this may do. Let's just cut ourselves off from it, because our lives are going to get better. And the reason I think this is so important to talk about is hopefully that sends a message out to some people. And I know it's not going to turn the doubters around, but every time a famous person commits suicide, or somebody with money, comes out and says, oh, I'm really struggling, you get this contingent that goes, well, you got to worry about, you're famous and you're rich. Rah, rah, rah. Being famous is great. Being rich is great, but it doesn't switch, flick a switch in your brain when all of a sudden, if you are predisposed to this kind of stuff, you're all of a sudden going to be okay. And if you can be a prince and a damn princess and still get to the point you're like, oh, it's too much. In a way, the silver lining, the real positive thing from this is they've taken their control back into their own lives, but they have made it quite clear that it is all right to put your mental health first. And it's not weird to be struggling, and it's not weird to be in a position where you don't feel very comfortable. And again, if that can happen to the people up here, it sure as hell is going to happen to the people down here. But hopefully we can get to the point where we're all here. I mean, it's never going to happen because of the human race and society, but hopefully that can be the aim. And one day you can meet Joe in accounts and say, Joe, how you doing? And Joe says, you know what? My mental health sucks today. And that's all right. It's not weird. You don't look at him like he's got some kind of disease. You understand because we've all been there and we've all tapped into ourselves and realized that essentially we are this crazy animal, you can use that, specimen, species, whatever you want to use, that is just thrown onto this planet. For starters, you've got to get your head around the fact we are just on a rock that's flying towards the sun. I mean, that's not technically true, flying through space, which is nuts when you take a step back and think about it. But also that there's just no way, when you have hopes, dreams, worries, all these things that are constantly smashing into your brain, there's no way you can wake up every day and be 100%. It's just impossible. And if anybody says they do that, they're probably struggling in a completely different way. They're probably a bit deluded and a bit blind to it all. Because all it takes, I can have somebody, I have a better story. I was going to do a whole video about this, but screw it, we'll do it here. The other day I was driving to Asda. Other supermarkets are available. Like, that makes a difference. There's a roundabout. I went to cross round and there's these bushes. And it was early in the morning, so people were going to school. And from out of the bushes, this kid just came flying on his bike. He didn't stop. I was coming around a roundabout, so I was only going about, 10 miles an hour max. But I had to slam on my brakes at the last minute, and I was like that far away from hitting him. And I didn't yell at him at first, but my adrenaline was up, and I was so mad that he hadn't been more smart, right? And I get he's a kid, and we all do it. I said, oh, what are you doing? Never do it again. But I could see on his face he'd realized he'd made a mistake and was also incredibly thankful that nothing else had happened. And so, I quickly changed my tone and I was like, dude, just please learn from this and never do it again, because not only does that suck for him and his family, but if I'm in that position, it sucks for me because there's nothing I could have done. I was driving perfectly safely. But my point is, you don't know what's going to happen. You just don't know what's going to happen. Life can change on a whim, and sometimes that can get in your old head and just send you absolutely nuts. So, I know I'm ranting and raving here, but that is the point of these vlogs. And besides, I've been on YouTube. I've watched a load of stuff recently. Everyone's ranting and raving. I got a bit worried last year because one comment, it's always do this again, mental health stuff. One comment went, Miller, it's just you talking to camera 10 minutes. It's really boring. I thought, maybe it is boring. Then I realized I watched loads of videos like this and I don't think it's boring. So I was like, hey, I'm going to do it too. But that, it's just a way to start a conversation. It's a way for you to leave a comment below saying, Simon, I understand I have been there too. And I'll just clarify, I am not depressed or sad or upset. Sometimes very, very lovingly, I do get comments going, oh, Miller, it'll be okay. This isn't about me. This is a general conversation. And I tell you, if I ever do get into that position, and fingers crossed, and I've been there in the past, and one day we can talk about it. But if I ever am there again, hopefully I can make a video, and hopefully we can have that conversation as well, because I get that too. If you are feeling that way, you're well within your rights to go, well, yeah, if you don't feel like that right now, it's easy for you to talk about it. You're not there, because when you are there, my couch is there. All you want to do is lie on your couch and do nothing. And I've been there. I remember a time a couple of years ago when I started doing these vlogs of lying on that couch, and I just didn't want to move. And I was eating crap and I wasn't going to the gym and everything was doom and gloom. But as always, as I always say, you come out the other side one way or the other. Something sparks, something gets you going again, something gets you focused. Just reach out to your friends, talk to people. And no, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical professional. This is just me. I do fitness videos as well, right? We've just started doing them. But I don't have any qualifications in fitness. I'm just passionate about it. It's the same with mental health. So if you are feeling this way, talk to someone, talk to a friend, give somebody a call. Hell, throw something on Twitter if it's going to make you feel better. But maybe when these news stories do break, you can look at someone like Harry and Meghan. And again, you don't have to be fans of theirs. You don't have to be royalists or loyal supporters or anything like that. But just look at them and think, outside of the mudslinging that's going on, doesn't this really come down to two human beings who, again, are struggling and just want to get to a point where they don't have to struggle anymore, even if it means cutting off ties with their own family. I don't know what's going to happen with the money situation, but maybe it is going to be more difficult. If nothing else, their faces are all over the papers and the websites today, and they didn't want that to begin with. It's one of the reasons they're leaving. Again, if you're royalty in the press, again, Princess Diana, I don't want to talk about it because I'm not educated enough, but I have not an idea, but I was around for it. I experienced it. I know the sheer controversy that all that caused. So yes, I will try and do more of these mental health things, try and tie them into world events so it's not just me. Again, I don't want to drag this along the ground. I want these videos to be helpful and I want them to be meaningful, and hopefully they make a difference. Even if one person says, Simon, they made a difference, hey man, then that's all good. That's the end. I got nothing else to say about it. Not even sure I said anything there, but it was fun. I enjoyed waving my arms around. Like the video, share the video. Please do subscribe, like I say. And yeah, if you want me to do more, you just got to let me know. That's that. That's the most important thing. If you're not having a good day, tomorrow may be a little bit better. If not, maybe the weekend will be a bit kinder still. I hope so. Nothing but good wishes for you. I'll see you soon.